The largest industry in Pennsylvania, agribusiness, accounts for over $45 billion in the state's economy. The multifaceted agricultural industry revenues include horticulture, hardwoods, crops, fruits and vegetables, and of course other forms of production agriculture. Now, the largest portion of the agricultural business in Pennsylvania is comprised of the dairy industry, contributing over $18 billion in state revenues. Hi, I'm Heidi Swanovec, the Consumer Affairs Director for the Pennsylvania Milk Marketing Board. The Milk Marketing Board is an independent agency under the direction of the governor, working to ensure Pennsylvania's dairy industry remains economically viable. The board helps make it possible for local dairy farmers, milk bottlers, and manufacturers of dairy products in Pennsylvania to thrive in a stable economic environment. This stimulates a diverse and robust dairy economy by promoting competition and providing us with a variety of wholesome dairy products. This also allows the consumer to benefit by having a plentiful supply of milk at the best price possible. I'm here in Centre County, where there are almost 200 dairy farmers. Centre County ranks 14th in the state for milk production. Other counties that produce a high volume of milk include Lancaster, Franklin, Lebanon, Bradford, Chester, Berks, Blair, Cumberland, Crawford, and Huntington. Lancaster, Franklin, and Lebanon are the top 3 counties and supply over 30% of the milk produced in all of Pennsylvania. Lancaster County alone ranks 10th in the whole nation in milk production. Many people in local rural communities benefit from the domino effect of farming. Each cow generates over $13,000 per year of local economic activity. As you may already know, the dairy industry is not just cows and grocery stores. There are many steps in between the cows grazing in the sunshine and the milk on your dinner table. Dairy farmers, processors, retailers, and even us, the state regulators, all play a part in bringing you the dairy products you consume.
But how do we get from the cow pasture to the ice cream parlor?
Let's ask the chairman of the Pennsylvania Milk Marketing Board, Mr. Boyd Wolf. Hello, Mr. Wolf. The kids would like to know, how does the milk go from the cow pasture to the ice cream parlor?
Hi, I could tell you how the milk comes from the farm to the table. I think you should see for yourselves. You must start with the cow and follow the milk.
Let's start from the beginning then. Over 8,600 farmers in Pennsylvania operate farms to produce milk and other dairy products for us to eat and drink. The size of the average dairy farm in Pennsylvania is 65 cows. A cow begins producing milk after giving birth to her first calf, usually at about 2 years of age. After giving milk for about 300 to 360 days, she will stop producing milk and take a 2-month rest period until she has another calf. A dairy cow will usually have several calves in her lifetime. Farmers milk their cows in a milking parlor or a tie stall barn. A milking parlor is a special building for cows to walk through and be milked in. In Pennsylvania, we have the highest standards for sanitization of all milking equipment you'll find anywhere. In this way, we can eliminate dangerous microorganisms. Automatic milkers are placed on the cow's teats. The cow is milked and the milk flows through pipes to a holding tank. The milk produced from a cow leaves her body at a temperature between 97 and 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Once in the holding tank, it's quickly cooled to 40 degrees to keep it fresh. Milk in the holding tank is periodically agitated in order to keep the cream from separating from the rest of the milk.
Now can we have the ice cream?
Not just yet. First, we need to get the milk from the holding tank to the dairy where it will be processed and bottled. This milk is sold to the dairy by the farmer. The Pennsylvania Milk Marketing Board regulates the minimum price that the dairy must pay our dairy farmers. In addition to the minimum price, the board also requires Pennsylvania bottlers to pay an additional premium to the dairy farmers. This allows dairy farmers in Pennsylvania to be more fairly paid for the milk they produce. Milk haulers who are privately employed own large tank trucks that move the raw milk to dairies. Milk haulers are licensed by the Pennsylvania Milk Marketing Board. Haulers employ milk truck drivers, we call them weigher samplers, to operate their trucks and collect the milk. Weigher samplers must meet high standards in order to be certified by the Pennsylvania Milk Marketing Board. The milk truck driver must know how to agitate or mix the milk. read a dipstick to measure how much milk is in the tank, take a sample, and how to keep the samples cold and fresh until the truck arrives back at the dairy. Before the milk truck driver pumps the milk from the farm tank into the truck, he must gather a sample for testing.
There's a lab in the state that we send samples to. They come pick them up, and they will test for the proteins, the solids, and they'll also test for bacteria, so that we know the farmer's doing a good job here to make sure that everybody has a good product.
This is important because the sample shows the quality of the milk, along with how much protein, butterfat, and other components are present. This will determine the value of the milk. After the driver gets a sample of the milk and he pumps the milk from the holding tank onto the truck, he brings it back to the dairy. The dairy will perform many tests on the sample of the milk that was delivered by the driver.
The skim milk that we ran earlier this morning, we take samples of that product run and take it to the lab to evaluate it for its wholesomeness and quality. And one of the tests that we run is a bacterial check on the quality of the milk inside each of the finished containers. One test we run is called the coliform bacteria check. If there were coliform bacteria present in the milk, we would see large red dots on the Petri film, and that would alert us to a potential problem. We were separating cream this morning, and the cream will be eventually put into ice cream mixes, sour cream, and cream cheese. But before we do that, we have to make sure that the butterfat content of the cream that we separated is of the proper percentage. So the sample that Jerry provided to the lab this morning will now be evaluated for its milk fat content. The machine that we use to do this is called a CEM Smart Track machine, and it will take a sample that Bonnie will put into the machine, and in a very few seconds provide a readout of the percentage of milk fat in the sample. Well, we've completed the first test for the solids of the cream, and now the butterfat percent has just come up, and it reads at 40% milk fat. And good separator of cream that ends up as an ingredient in ice cream, sour cream, or cream cheese should be at 40% milk fat.
This is the temperature control, and this is the sample itself. I put the milk sample in the tester. We gotta wait for the milk line to get up above into this little box. When it's about halfway, then I've got to snap it down. And all we'll do is we'll take it over here, and this is the snap test reader. And I already had everything plugged in, and I say read, and it should come back negative. And it is negative, and everything's recorded on this for the month, and that's a permanent record. It always has to stay with everything.
After the milk is tested at the dairy and found to be safe, they pump the milk from the truck into large holding tanks or silos to hold the milk before processing. In order to minimize the amount of bacteria and harmful microorganisms, they must first pasteurize the milk. Pasteurization is the process of heating the milk in order to destroy harmful bacteria. This process also prolongs the shelf life of the product. Next, we want to homogenize the milk. Homogenization prohibits the milk from separating into the different components.
Pasteurization and homogenization of milk and dairy products are very important steps. The process of pasteurization is the heating of the milk to a temperature of at least 161 degrees Fahrenheit, holding that milk continuously for at least 15 seconds, and then we follow that by rapid cooling. At the University Creamery, we pasteurize our milk at about 166 degrees Fahrenheit and hold it for about 20 seconds, giving us a shelf life of at least 17 days on all of our milk products. Now, milk fat is also naturally occurring in cow's milk, and homogenization takes that milk fat and uniformly distributes it throughout the tank and the carton and the glass so that it remains suspended throughout the vessel. And this is done by subjecting the milk to high pressures of at least 1,500 pounds per square inch. And the homogenization keeps the milk fat from collecting back together again, or what we call agglomerating and forming cream layers that was similar to the milk that your grandmother drank.
You may have heard that the cream always rises to the top. In the good old days, before homogenization, that would have been true. Nowadays, the cream content is tightly controlled so that people that want whole milk get whole milk, and folks that prefer skim milk get skim milk. Milk can be made into countless varieties of products, including cheese, milks of all flavors, sour cream, ice cream, yogurt, butter, cream, cottage cheese, and many, many other products. Dairies are built to produce a variety of milk products. After the raw milk has been pasteurized and homogenized, it is flavored, mixed, and processed into a certain product.
We're hungry!
Not so fast! The Pennsylvania Milk Marketing Board ensures that milk products are set at the best price possible for both the consumer and the dairy farmer. Amazingly, in Pennsylvania, the farmer is getting more for the milk he produces, while the consumer is paying about the same or less than consumers in comparable surrounding markets. The Enforcement Division of the Milk Marketing Board conducts many price checks at convenience stores, grocery stores, and markets that sell milk products to ensure that the market for milk is fair and stable and free of destructive competition. There are over 14,500 stores throughout Pennsylvania that sell nature's perfect food, milk, produced in the best darn place that I know for making milk, Pennsylvania. The cow has been milked, the milk has been transported to the dairy, tested, pasteurized, homogenized, and processed, delivered to you at the store, and is now ready for you to enjoy. Finally, the time has come.
Hooray!
Who wants the vanilla?
Right.
There you go. Well, Heidi, now that you have followed the milk, what do you think of your adventure?
It made me thirsty.
Me too.